And we live, baby. I tell you what, it has been a crazy week here for On Another Line. Shout out to some people in our area, first and foremost. People like Fred Redfern and Larry Slack and all these people that consistently watch our show. Huge thank you. Huge shout out to you guys. It's been a crazy week. I'm trying to hit that 5,000 subscriber mark on YouTube, and I'm gradually doing that. I don't think I'm going to do it by the end of the year unless something catastrophic happens, because I'm still 500 away from that. But
we're going viral, bro.
Yeah, you have to do something stupid to do viral. Maybe tonight's the night, because I tell you one thing, guys. First and foremost, I'd like to give a shout out to another guy that helped us out this week, Brad Taylor from Border Sporting Goods. Called
MVP Brad Taylor.
That's right. Called up. We've been pushing Picasso for about 2 months now. We joined their pro staff because I'm not a pro, but pro stands for promotional anyway. But anyway, we're a part of their pro staff now, and we've been fishing their stuff for quite a while over the past few years. But we just now been affiliated with them, and we apparently are making a little bit of headway on moving some baits over there at Borders in the way of Picasso. And he called Dan Vesuvio, who is the owner of Picasso, and put in a good word for us. So appreciate that. If you are listening to this, Brad, huge deal. There he is.
Thank you, man.
Said. But without further ado, we have one of the most bad to the bone local fishermen in the area, one of my good buddies, Bailey McKenney. We're going to bring him on in just a second, but I want to talk about Bailey. I'm going to talk about how bad butt he is. I'm going to tell you, this dude is so bad. He freaking built the hospital he was born in. Like, so good that he's so fast he can run around the earth and punch himself in the back of the head. That's how awesome he is. He also he won a game of Connect 4 and 3 moves one time.
Oof.
I mean, it is pretty amazing. But I'll tell you what, without further ado, we're going to bring on Bailey McKenney here, and we'll give you guys a little shout out and let you know what's up with Bailey. And let me go to the 3-person layout. There we are. What's up?
Hey. I'll tell you what, man, the whole fast thing, anybody that actually knows me and has ever seen me knows that that's just not the case, dude. But, yeah, I appreciate the intro, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, dude is legit. Andrew, I'm with you 100%. And I forgot to shout you out there because you're consistently watching too, man. It's people like you that make this worthwhile. And we'll definitely get out there on the water for sure.
Hey, I know Rhonda. Hey, Rhonda.
Don't make Bailey's head any bigger. Come on, man.
It's going to be a roast all night, dude. I'm calling.
Hey, Dylan Preston says he taught you everything he knows.
He did. That kid, you talk about
that is a good looking smallie on there.
Scope, you put a live scope in front of that kid with a spinning rod, it's over.
What's up, my brother? So anyway, we are going to again talk about a few things here. And again, if you guys don't know Bailey McKenney, he has worked at Tackle Box for several years, and that's how I've got to know him. But when I was saying all that stuff, obviously I was being facetious when I was talking about that stuff. I was being kind of silly, but I do think that he is one of the most down-to-earth people on the planet, and is an absolute hammer. So Bailey, everybody that knows you, but give us a little idea of what you're fishing, who you are, and what brings us here today.
So a little bit about me. I've got kind of a full plate, man. We fished the College Bassmaster Trail over at Marshall University, me and Levi Smith and Lawson Blake. So there's 2 boats. We run that trail. We're looking to jump into some more like collegiate stuff. We also run the largest trail in the state of West Virginia, headlined by Malone's Marine here in Ironton, so right down the road from you guys. We average somewhere in the 50 to 60 boat range. We're looking to expand this year. All of our tournaments are open, so if you guys want to head over to Marshall Fishing after the show, check us out. We got 5 events this year and the championship, plus 1 open that we've never done before. So we're gonna have you guys down at Cumberland this year, and it'd be pretty cool to see you and JR down there, dude.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, Cumberland has my freaking number. Like we were talking about it today. And the thing about it is, like, I'm down to fish it. I'm trying to set my boat up this winter for something that I feel like can be competitive. Got a lot of a lot of things on the plate. I'm going to buy an Ultrex Quest here soon. I've also got an idea to put I tell you what, I'd like to have a 12 Garmin with an LSV 34 setup. I need somebody to talk me out of the 12 and go with the 10. Like, I feel like that if I get the 10, I'm not going to
Not worth it, bro.
Buy the 12. Just buy the 12.
Yeah, just get the 12. You'll be happier.
If you buy the 10, you're gonna want the 12.
Yeah.
Get
grass is always greener.
Get
it's like, man, it's though with the LSV 34 and a 12 and the actual sonar unit, it's like $3,800.
Yeah.
But you could spend it on hamburgers, man.
You could.
Or I could spend it on Happy Cola hair bows.
You could.
That would make JR very happy.
This was a stocking stuffer from my wife.
Dude, it's not even Christmas yet.
I know. That's what happens. I'm addicted.
So yeah,
Dylan's comment flash up. Dylan runs Active Target, and we fish together a lot, definitely in the wintertime. But his cousin has the LVS 34 with the 106 SV.
Yeah,
that is the absolute clearest picture I've ever seen on a sonar unit at the front of a boat. It's insane.
Yeah, so I've been lucky enough that I haven't fished hummingbird stuff. Those of you guys that know me know that I am I'm a Johnson Outdoors guy through and through. Again, I'm buying an Ultrex Quest here soon. I have 2 16-inch Solix on my boat, which are made by Humminbird. If you don't know, I'm sure you already do know that. But, I feel like, man, I wish that Humminbird, their Mega Live they need to do an update or something, because it's not even in 3rd place. I don't know where it's at. It's like 614th or something. But it's not up to par with the rest of their stuff. Obviously, 360 is the best of the best. I believe that side and down imaging are best of the best, but they're just definitely lacking there. But I did fish this past few weeks in Kyle's boat that he just got, and it has Active Target on it, and it's better than what I see that are shots of Mega Live. But Kyle, on his previous Z21, we put in an LSV 34 with I think it was a 9 that he bought off JR.
Yeah.
It was just so much better, man. Like, you can see, I feel like the target separation was a lot better, obviously. That's the upgrade for the LSV 34. But I also feel like it was easier to judge the size of fish on the screen, as opposed to like you throwing down on something and setting the hook and it's like a 4-inch crappie and you think it's a 4-pounder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, another cool thing. A big plus with the 34 that guys talk about is, like, if you're fishing brush, it's a whole lot easier to, like you said, target separation. With the 32, you see more of a blob, and the 34 is like counting individual limbs on a tree. Man, it's insane.
Yeah, and so I will say that it's a game changer. And the thing about it is, like, Greg and I were having Greg at the tackle box, which we're going to have a conversation about that in just a second, where we're going to see where the tackle box is headed. But one of the things that I saw from any kind of forward-facing sonar, one, it changes the game for fishing for me. But JR and I had this conversation the other day. Forward-facing sonar, to me, it doesn't take the fun out of it, but it takes the fun out of the style of fishing that I do. Like, I like to keep my head down and beat the heck out of some banks with a crankbait or a spinnerbait or throwing whatever. But Kyle had Active Target on his boat and live scope on that previous boat. Dude, it was almost like we were just freaking locked onto that thing no matter what. And, there's upsides. Cole was talking about at the tackle box the other day. that's something that a lot of people don't understand is like, it's not seeing the fish. That's number one, right? That's key. But the second thing that you should be taking from those pictures that you're seeing live is what these fish are relating to. One, but two, where are they at in the water column? Because you can see that, right on the fly, which is something that you really don't think about. But it also kind of, when I buy one, I'm going to be that guy that stares down at it all the time because I'm a technology guy. Like, I like technology, and I've caught fish using it now. Down at Del Hollow, we were catching fish in 80 foot of water on live scope. Like, you're not doing that if you don't have live scope.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or some form of, live scope, some form of forward facing sonar.
Have you guys ever messed around with the AquaView cameras? I've seen some recent ads on them, and it's pretty interesting.
I know that guys use them, like the majority of people that I know that use them are for like two different things. It's say if they're ledge fishing in the summertime, to see how those fish are setting up. That's a great way to use it. The other, and I mean, you really don't need it, especially if you're fishing up north, Tyler. You know what I'm talking about. Guys will use that to look for bedfish, and that's just, I don't see the point in that because that water is
crystal clear water.
Yeah.
I think it's more for fun. Like I'm a scuba diver. Yes, I'm that nerd. So I would love to get an AquaView to kind of do that. I mean, kind of like those hook and look guys. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever watched that show, but I always really enjoy it. And it's kind of cool to see, what we see on a graph and then what they see on the AquaView. And then you put another element of a guy doing scuba and getting down there too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. What is it? Kim Stricker, right?
Yeah. I think
so. Here's the pretty cool stuff. We always stay there at Ken's Marine. We put our boats there. That's where they dock at too. Me and Josh Bryant were up there, and they were docked right next to us. But yeah, so that's the deal. I have an AquaView camera, but it's like the 1980s model one. It's got like it's got like a 2-ounce ball lead on the back of it. But we mentioned there a second ago about the tackle box again, Bailey working there. But first and foremost, there's still an absolute pile of baits and things at the tackle box. I want to first and foremost tell you guys that I was there today. 40% off all baits in the shop, which guys, I'm not lying to you. Bailey and I were having a conversation today. It was almost buy one bait, get two free in the situation. Like I paid, I bought a Shimano jerk bait and I bought two Macbeth flats, and it literally was the same price as one jerk bait. And that's because of the deal he's got going on. But if you don't know, Greg Drown and Debbie at the tackle box are retiring. They're having a retirement sale right now. And everything's 40% baits and stuff. I think rods and reels are still 30%. And there's something like guys, I feel like that I'm doing something wrong by telling you this because I really am. He's selling these way under MSRP, but he's going out of business. He doesn't have to worry about ordering them anymore. The Loomis NRX Plus or anything Loomis or Shimano for that matter. But the best deal in the house right now is still the NRX Plus. There's I was up there today. I'm going to guess there's still 15 of them up there, probably at least. G Loomis NRX Plus are $450 in tax out the door. They're $650 plus tax normally. So you're looking at about $675 probably out the door. And you're getting this thing for $475 roughly. So it is it's a steal of a deal. 40% off that. So Bailey, we talked about it today, but so first off, tackle box is closing their doors at the 28th. What happens after that?
So after the 28th, we're looking for you're going to look at some of the local swap meets that guys love to go to. So we got the one in Spring Valley coming up in January, and then we're going to look for Johnson Central a little bit later in the year, and then Lucasville in June. Do you have many catfish guys that watch your show?
There's a few. There's more people than you'd think, but yeah, you got some.
Okay, so I want to touch on this. Like we've been trying to get the word out, and it's not really been super successful because it's the time of year a lot of catfish guys really don't buy anything. But we're looking at 300 catfish reels still in stock, and probably 400 roughly catfish rods still in stock at 30% off. And that's crazy. they should be coming in and buying those by the droves. And the thing is, also, we've got 3 or 4 models that are still below cost, which is way more than 30% down. So, but yeah, the 28th is our last day. So make sure you guys come on in and see us before then. For, like he said, 40% off baits, 30% off rods and reels, and of course the NRX Plus, which is just insane because you can't even buy those used for $450, man.
I wouldn't sell mine used for $450.
No, I mean,
you know, it's like I said, guys, and you know, I was talking to Kevin Dick there the other day. He was well, I can't say what he was buying because maybe I think he already does know, but so Kevin was there. We were talking about it, and he was talking about the Loomis line of things, and he's like, "Look, man," he's like, "I don't want to spend the money on this thing, but I'll know that I'll never get this opportunity to buy them at this price, and that's unless something like crazy happens. I don't think you're going to see a $450 NRX Plus ever.
no,
You know, that's roughly what an IMX Pro costs you.
yeah,
MSRP, $100, about $75 more.
It's closer to the GLX, but yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing, like we were talking about, I think I've only ever seen them remotely close to that price point at oh shoot, what's the name of that place? Place in Indiana. But anyway, a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but some vendors. Okay, yeah, Kevin Dick says the Spring Valley show will be January 13th. But there's some vendors at like swap meets and shows and bigger shows that'll have them at like 500. But no, you won't ever find them for 450.
You talking about like Land Big Fish?
Land Big Fish, yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, they always have a steal of a deal on them, and I don't know how they do it. To be honest with you, they sell those things. $500 is below MAP, which is crazy. And normally that's how people get kicked off. But again, that's the deal. Greg and them are looking to retire. But again, you guys know that the Greg and everybody up there at the tackle box there was so many baits in that place that half of it's gone now, and there's still so many baits in that place.
It's still insane.
Like, it's nuts. I
mean, they have more Strike King now than the vast majority of places have Strike King fully, everything there, and it's packed,
Yeah. So again, well, I'll tell you one thing they don't have is right-handed casting reels. They got some tranks. They got a couple tranks and I think that's it. They had a 150 trank, 200 trank.
The other day.
They have a 150 tranks and an 8 gear ratio. They have a 200 tranks and an 8 gear ratio. And there was something else in there. I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was a 400 tranks in, right?
Yeah. So if you're into muskie fishing or catching school buses off the bottom, then that's the reel for you.
Yeah, tranks are awesome.
And going back to the NRX Plus, if you've never picked one up, at least go pick one up. But if you don't want to spend $450, probably shouldn't pick it up because it's the lightest thing that you've ever picked up. You can fish it all day and get any fatigue.
We say it all the time that rod, it doesn't even need to be sold. Like, if we have a customer come in and pick it up and mess around with it for a little while, we don't have to usually say a word to them. They'll bring it up front and buy it. It's just, especially at that price. I mean, you're never going to find it again. It's an awesome rod.
Yeah. What's going on, Micah? First off, man, thanks for joining in. See your name up here a lot. Appreciate it. So the MBT Marine stuff has got me intrigued. And the thing about it is, like, first off, they are uber expensive. Like, I guess they should be, but what I thought was really cool about these things is there's a 22-inch screen, as Micah's talking about here. And if you don't know what MBT Marine is, it's basically an external monitor for your forward-facing sonar. And I think it's only capable of connecting to Garmin. I could be wrong with that. But the coolest thing that I saw about that is that it's fully touchscreen, ready. You plug that baby into your unit, and you can touch that 22-inch screen and have it work your Garmin unit, which is crazy. One of the things that I will say is that I have never seen one in person, but 22 inches is giant. I have a 16 on my boat, and it's giant, but
they're huge.
So one thing that I will tell you is I have a 16-inch Solix, and I bought a screen protector. I have 2 of them actually. I'm going to put the other one on there, but I bought a screen protector from Precision Sonar, and it's the anti-glare one. Do not, and I repeat, don't ever buy that thing. That thing is crap, man. It's not anti-glare, it's anti-C. You can't see anything through that thing. Like, it's not that great, but I think it would be cool. But the MBT Marine stuff is just as expensive as a Garmin unit.
Yeah.
My thought is, and maybe Bailey or somebody can speak to this. Do you even need a Garmin unit with could you just plug it into the sonar unit and be good?
My understanding is it's its own external entity. Like, I think you still have to run a Garmin unit, but I'm not 100% sure.
Is that what Shryock was fishing with and watching the Ohio State game?
No, that was just the Lowrance.
That's the new carbons, I think. I believe or HDS Live.
HDS Live, yeah. But you got to have a micro HDMI to like iPhone connector, but it's basically just putting it in there. But those MBT stuff are awesome. I'm gonna work on getting a live scope before I worry about getting a 22-inch screen. But another thing that I would worry about, again, as I've talked about getting that screen protector, is that's an awful big screen for throwing like 1 ounce tungstens around.
I'll speak to this, and I don't know if Jeff Smith might be watching. You guys will know that he'll correct me if I'm wrong, but he runs a couple. I think he got them off either Amazon or another outlet, and he absolutely loves them. But he said they weren't very expensive at all. They were anti-glare, and they're actual glass screen protectors, like what you put on your phone.
Yeah, so that's Precision Sonar has one that's just actual like Gorilla Glass that's clear, and that's what I got to put on the front graph. But I don't know, and it could be just the way my graph is angled because it's kind of like tilted, not totally back, but it has some tilt away from me. But I think and I like ice fishing people have it and stuff, and I feel like this is something that's going to be coming out. If not, maybe they already do. I'm sure they already are. But like me being a video guy, if you're looking at a monitor out in the sunlight, they have these sunshades that come off from there, and they just Velcro on, right? So it would be something easily to put some Velcro on the side of there and have this little sunshade that kept that kind of kept all the sun out of it. I don't know.
Trenton, I was thinking the exact same thing. It's like, why is he so mad at me?
Yeah, you got to watch out for Casey Amos, dude. You got to watch out. These are my guys, and I guess they're just here to hang out.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, guys.
I'm glad you're on here. This is great.
Yeah, feel free to take a load off and hang out and talk fishing with us, and share it and tell a little white lie that like these guys actually know what they're talking about, and it's a great show. Like, it's okay to lie a little bit because why not? It's all good. So this time of year, one of my favorite baits on the planet is a flat-sided crankbait. We talked about that last week. We're looking at some today at the tackle box. Chick Magnet Jr. seem to be decent baits. We've talked about it 100 times. I don't have to say it. I'm sure somebody else is going to say it because I've said it 100 times. Spro Little John Type R, freaking phenomenal, top of the list. I like the which I did pick up one the other day at the tackle box after we were talking about it. I didn't even know the color existed, but I got the Fritz Side 5.
Kentucky Blue.
Yeah, the Fritz Side 5 Biggin in Kentucky Blue, flat-sided crankbaits. If we're talking about flat-sided crankbaits, and I've named a few there, Bailey, what are you throwing?
So on flat-sided crankbaits?
Yes.
My number one is the Jackal Bling, and if that's not getting it done, I go straight to the Spro. But that Jackal Bling, man, it puts fish in the boat. I don't know what it is about it. I really like the circuit board lip, which is just like the Spro. It's got a little different rattle chamber in it. It comes in a little bit different colors. But like, as far as like picking one over the other, it's pretty tough.
Yeah. Casey said he didn't mean to have all caps on. He wasn't really mad at us. He just he's not used to commenting on a show where there's only 20 people watching. So it's not like it's going. It's like there's a comment. There's a comment. And by the way, we're talking about a 48-inch screen right here, so it's pretty big. OG Slim. I like them a lot, man. I think they're pretty good. I like the OG Slim. Isn't there a small one? Like
Yeah, there's a tiny.
IG. Yeah, so I'm a fan of that one. I like any kind of balsa bait though.
I think the market's pretty well flooded with them at this point. I mean, it's in the past 2 years. I think we've seen so many, re-release, especially after, I think he came out with, Ott came out with the OG Slim, and then after that, you saw the Andy Morgan come out with his, and on and on, which they're all just they catch fish for a reason. That tight wobble, it's different, and I think we see this kind of come back in vogue because the fish don't see it as much, and then it goes in and goes out.
Yeah, there's actually a new OG Slim coming. There's OG 7 Deep. So it's got a little bit bigger of a bill on it.
Mm.
Hey, Robert. Plum Crazy Purple. That's Trent's bait right there, guys.
Yeah, so like,
what movie is that from, Tyler? Plum Crazy Purple. That's an Adam Sandler.
Dirt.
Right? No, Joe Dirt. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Me and Tyler will just call each other with like half a line from a song or half a quote from a movie, and that way we can keep up with each other. It's normally some like early 2000s music of some reference, and we're all over it.
Stapleton earlier, man. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
You got any whistling?
OG Bailey bait.
Yeah, but well, I mean, you guys might for the show. I don't want to hijack you guys or anything, but like, one of my favorite things to reach for this time of year when the water's cold. Half ounce. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So this is just a DNL in a oops color with just a Berkeley Max scent Chigger Crawl. That bait just seems to get bit.
Dude, so jigs for me find a place in my boat all year round. As the color changes, I like that. I like that green pumpkin there. A Chigger Crawl, man, and Greg had them for a while, and I think he sold out of them, or they didn't sell well, and he didn't order them again. But the Chigger Crawl has a thing called a Crazy Legs Chigger Crawl that has like longer antenna on them, and man, I tell you what, they catch fish too. But we've been talking about smaller finesse baits. Matter of fact, I got a YouTube video coming out on it next week or on Monday. About downsizing baits from winter, and I think that little jig there you have is an amazing addition to that. We've been talking about and we've been pushing the Picasso Little Spotty lately, which is a small finesse jig, tungsten head, ball head. But the cool thing about those jigs is most of their jigs, for that matter, have 3 titanium weed guards on them that they feel like they're the perfect, thickness. They're not overly they're still springy enough to get hooked up, but they're not flimsy enough to get hooked up on brush and stuff. I've been throwing a lot on that little thing. Those Z-Man TRD crawls are really cool. But Dan Vesuvio the other day, I'm going to try to find this picture because, dude, it is bad to the bone. Like, it is.
Yeah, that did look good.
Like, it's something I never thought of. But he said that he cuts down a baby brush hog and puts it on these finesse jigs. And let's see, I'm going to save this image here and I'll show it to you guys.
I'm going to put you on the spot. I want some of those Picasso jigs, man.
Yeah, man. I got a bunch of them. Yeah, and if you guys are looking to get your hands on them, you're local.
Borders as
Go over
well.
and check out Brad at Borders. He has a ton of them. Matter of fact, like I said, I was mentioning at the beginning of the show, we apparently are moving some of jigs over there for him because he just placed a massive order. So give it a week or so, and he'll be stocked up again. But let me see if I can't bring up this little thing here. But like I said, it was really I never even thought about cutting down something like this. But his thought was that you can like me figure out what tab I'm on here, and it's gets a little confusing. Here we go. So this thing, man, I mean, look at that. That thing looks killer. I love those two little appendages there. That's not the end. That's like the middle ones from a baby brush hog. But
have you ever seen the OSP beaver?
No, I've not seen it.
Looks just like that. You ought to check it out.
What is it now? OSB?
OSP.
Oh.
It's a do live beaver.
I want to see what color that is of that little spotty. That's a good looking color too. Maybe it's
That's
another
a great look.
Do live beaver, you said?
Yeah. You'll
So let's see here. Yep. Let's see it, man. Dark
sleepers.
But they're pretty big, 3.5, 4 inches. So that little spotty that we're just looking at right there is like, I mean, it's a finesse jig, so you have to cut that thing down too. But that's pretty good deal. Yeah. Me too, Strick. It's just all about talking fishing and like when you should be spending time with your wives and girlfriend and children and not thinking about fishing and I mean, I get it. I don't get it.
You could just be like me and have your kids on the show, have your Chelsea's yet to get on the show, but who knows, there might be
a chance. So I keep telling Misty she's gonna have to come in here and like take over.
Well, she did bring you a drink last week, so I did,
Also, she was in. Oh, Misty, yeah, she brought me. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, man. So we tried to work it out last year's to go over to Ferguson's last year because Kevin and the boys were going to be over there, and I was going to go, but I swear there was something going on. I think it was the weekend before the tackle box, and I had a tournament that I was fishing. And I couldn't make it, but I'm 100% for that. I love going around and showing some people some support. One of my former students is actually a Marine tech over there, Jordan Case. Dude is he's a legit human being. So he just got Mercury certified. I saw the other day. So I'm definitely for sure going to try to go out there.
Is that the one in Cerrito we're talking about?
Lavalette. It's on Route 5 or 5th Street.
52.
Yeah, that's
I just went out there just because Casey works there. That's all I'm saying.
Nice.
No, that'll be a super cool event.
Yeah, 152. Yeah, so you got to pass it to go to like, I guess you can Beach Fork. You got to pass to go to Beach Fork.
Pass it to go to Beach Fork or Eastland or Wayne in general.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what it is about old school. Wasn't something that just hit me a second ago, and I was thinking about it. I'll get your guys' opinion on it. We're talking about flat-sided crankbaits and have that really tight wobble action. Like when I think about baits that have that same action, obviously different technique, but a freaking jitterbug has that exact same wobble. Like, first off,
I wasn't prepared for that old school.
Yeah, I mean, like that's back before Bailey was born.
Yeah,
he has to just look at like pictures of these. Like you can't see them up here, but I got like, I don't know, when does it become a problem buying fishing reels? I got back here just boxes of reels that I've bought over the last, I don't guess, 3 years. and I'm gonna say there's well, I can tell you exactly how many there are.
It's just part of the decor, man.
There's let's see. There's 36 real boxes up there.
Well, when we know people like we know Tyler, it's kind of hard not to, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. When you get that 4% discount on that Corrado DC or that Chronarch DC or the Methanium DC, that's what I was looking for. When you save those that $8, yeah. And that's dude.
Can't turn down a deal.
Heaters on YouTube are the bee's knees. I love them. I just absolutely love them. Said no one ever, but it's great. People are on there like running me down. I can't believe you have $15,000 for the rod and reels in your boat. I'll never do that. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, guys, I don't give a crap if you're out there pitching a freaking K&E worm on a Zebco 33 with a freaking Rhino rod. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm just happy you're out on the water. It is funny though. Like I don't know if it's like, I mean, I don't want to say this because I hope they're not jealous of me, but it feels like jealousy. It's like constantly people have these really weird, rude things. And like I always tell my high school students about social media and places like that. It's like, would you like just just think about it for a second. If you walked into Walmart, would you just scream it? If you didn't know anybody, you'd be like, oh, another line sucks. You might, because it's
I've
true.
done that.
Yeah. I mean, I've done
I did do that. Last week.
But it's like guys like, oh, even if I had the money, I wouldn't buy Loomis. Okay. Like what validates your opinion and what makes you think that I care?
Like that goes, I'm gonna steal something from Luke Duncan's show if you guys watch Luke Duncan. That's just the whole Mom's Basement Keyboard Warriors. And I started tournament fishing in a 15-foot aluminum john boat with a 9.9 at Yatesville Lake, and I got my teeth kicked in plenty of times by guys that were in $100,000 boats. I didn't care what I was in, what I was using. I just wanted to fish, and that's always been the same for me. Like, my gear doesn't make me the fisherman that I am. You know what I mean?
No, that's the deal. Like I don't. I mentioned it today at the tackle box. Like I don't want, and everybody's in this big deal where social media has probably ruined fishing in a way. And in a way, I believe that they're right because of this stuff, what I'm talking about. But I'm the type of guy that we were talking about earlier. Like, I want everybody to eat at my table, right? Like, I want everybody that's around me to succeed. Like, I don't want to get wrapped up in high school drama, which I feel like a lot of fishing is anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just want to go out and fish. And that's what I told you I liked about going out and fishing with you guys there at East Lynn or Beach Fork, because it was literally like you just got in those little john boats and you went fishing for 4 or 5 hours and you came back and weighed them in, or you didn't if you were us.
And you went home. You just go on about your business.
Yeah, man. Like it's there. It's smack talk until the curtain drops and you guys go out there and you fish and put up or shut up, and then you don't, if you don't catch them, everybody slaps hands and goes on about it. But I just hate the fact that there's a huge amount of drama. Even like looking at forward facing sonar, there's people that are totally against it. Some people that are. I'm definitely on the fence. I like it, and will have some, but I also feel like that it kind of hurts the population. I think it does hurt the population of crappie. Like, think how many crappies getting freaking murdered by it, which is okay. I mean, I eat crappie too. Everybody's got to eat, but it's crazy.
Yeah, the good thing about crappie is they reproduce in droves. Like, I don't think you could ever fully make crappie extinct.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of like rabbits. They reproduce like rabbits. So where are they biting? I can tell you where they're not.
Cumberland.
Cumberland be one of them.
That's a partner for the South Central, and we have sucked it up this year.
So the South Central Regional, isn't that where? So Chris Malone's down there pre-fishing now, isn't he? I think.
Yeah, we have our championship this weekend, and Chris is staying down there.
Yeah. So you fishing too?
Yeah, we're heading back down Friday.
Nice. Well, good luck. But I had some decent luck the other day for small fish at Grayson. I'll be going back. I feel like that this time of year is going to be big for big fish at Grayson. The water levels are a little bit lower. Yatesville has been putting out some pretty big fish. I caught about 5.5 beginning. It was actually August, but I haven't been out there for a while. People that are live scoping them are catching them. It's all so I don't know where they're biting at. I've heard some rumors about some lakes up north, like towards not obviously Lake St. Clair or any place like that, but middle Ohio they're catching them pretty good. I haven't really been out. I'm hoping to get out this weekend. I will tell you, if you guys are in the area and you're interested in catching some fish to eat, the sauger and walleye are running down below the Greenup Dam, and they are stacked. JR's buddy caught an 11-pounder down there the other night. Pretty crazy. Seems to be biting better on like cranks and things, but it's usually evening into the night, which have been biting pretty good.
Yeah, can you share this if I send it to you?
What's that?
There's that picture of that 7-pounder I caught. I don't know how to do it other than this.
There you go. Yeah. Did you turn that into a fish sandwich?
I did. It's actually in my freezer, so not eaten quite yet.
Speaking of which, because the walleye that I gave you is probably still not eaten yet. I mean,
in my freezer.
At JR's freezer, where all good fish go to die.
Yeah, and get freezer burnt.
Anywho,
the sad thing is I love walleye too. It's just
it's so good. I got a freezer right here in front of me full of it, and I don't eat it as much as I should. We always have a big fish fry in Memorial Day, so.
Do you know what else is good, man? It's perch, dude. Perch is so good.
Yep, so good. So anyway, we are at that about 42-minute mark. Bailey's got all kind of stuff going on. His girlfriend must have been sending him nudes or something. I don't know.
Bro, are you on the toilet?
Trying to get my phone to charge. Whatever, we're good.
I still think his girlfriend's sending him nudes. He's like, oh God,
she's probably watching. She's probably watching. She's gonna be mad at you, dude. You just made her bad list.
I just made it. Well, I didn't call her out. I didn't say her name.
And that list is hard to get off of.
Really?
Yes.
I would like to apologize for anything that I formerly said, and sorry. Anyway. Oh no, dude! I ain't gonna put that comment up there from Trenton because he'll definitely be on the freaking.
Oh God.
He'll definitely be on the. I can't do this. Trenton. This is a family-friendly show.
You got to remind him every once in a while.
Yeah, no. Well, they can't see it anyway. But anyway, guys, we're at that 45-minute mark right now. Is the time to drop some questions for Bailey McKenney. We have a thing going on where we want to stay live about 45 minutes and then hop off. So first and foremost, Bailey, I want to thank you for joining us, and I want to thank those of you guys that came on here to listen to Bailey give his spiel. And we do this every Tuesday at 8:30 Central or 8:30 Eastern time. If you're here at 8:30 Central, you're gonna miss us by an hour.
Yeah, but
anyway, drop some comments below for Bailey. What kind of zodiac. What kind of zodiac sign he is, and he likes long walks on the beach. All right, Bailey, we ask everybody on the show this. The very first one is one bait to rule them all. It's the only bait that you get a fish from here on out, no matter what water temperature or where you're fishing. What is it?
Contact.
Whoa.
Oh, dude, you might be the first one to ever pull out the old swim bait for.
I like it.
My deck 12 months out of the year.
All right. So next thing is, what bait do you feel is overrated? And I think everybody that watches my show will know what I'm going to say. But my favorite bait, or my bait that I think is overrated, is a whopper plopper. I just don't think they catch as much fish as they say they do.
Yeah, that answer right there. Also, we talked about Jeff earlier. That fired him up before. But I will say, okay, this is a really hot take, and I thought about this today because I knew I was going to get asked this. It's a Mega Bass 110.
Oh, the jerk bait.
I
No
hate it.
way.
I hate 110.
Whoa.
I've
Shots
had
fired.
several break, like not even hitting rocks with them.
So I will tell you, I've had several break. The bills break right off from them, or they'll split in half and they'll sink.
Yeah.
For a $25 jerk bait, I'm with you. I feel like they should be a lot better quality, but then again, maybe that's why they're so good of quality to catch so much fish because they're so thin. If speaking of jerk baits, if we're talking about jerk baits, I don't know, I kind of like, I guess I'm kind of partial to them, but the new Shimano World Minnow are freaking bomb. They got that flash boost technology in them, which basically is a piece of aluminum. I'm going to call it foil, but it's a piece of metal that's on two springs.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you move the jerk bait, that thing continually twitches inside the bait. And then next on my list of jerk baits is going to be the Re-Range 110.
Yes. Yeah, hands down.
Dude, Stunner for me is a big one.
Yeah, I go really old school. I'm still a Smithwick Rogue. That's like,
dude, like, where's all this coming from? Like, they didn't. Jason Christie posted about those the other day. Another fishing like podcast I listened to was talking about the Smithwick Rogue. Matter of fact, I think I have one over here in my floor, and it's like a deep diving. Like, I'm serious. It's like it's here.
It's actually in my toe.
and they call it the Rogue 8 or the Super 8 or something. Guys, do yourself a favor, get one and throw it. And it doesn't look very good, but it catches the bass.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that deep dive, man. Look at that.
Oh, that's a deep one.
This is a Smithwick Spoonbill Super Rogue.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just answer Kyle's question. Kyle, you know what I caught it on. You watched me catch it, dude. I can't tell the world.
Oh,
Kyle
dude, he's holding out.
In a tournament. I sat on this bedfish for like an hour and a half. Right?
Oh, got it off a bed.
Yeah. So let the hate comments roll in. Bring them on. I'm a big boy. I'm tough. I can handle it. But like hour and a half. Yeah, shut up, Jared. That was totally not what I caught it on. But yeah, so she came up and rolled on it in about an hour and a half or so, and it was pretty awesome.
Strick said he's been using the Rattling Rogue since the 90s. That's awesome.
It's an awesome.
Jeff Mann said he heard it was a banjo minnow. Oh, he got the banjo. Yeah, that's good stuff. So we got Bailey saying that the bait he's not going to go out without is going to be a Kitech. Dude, let me just put you on to something. The Easy Shiner in Chartreuse Shad. Fire! Like, I'm telling you what, it's like up there with the Type R Little John for me. Like, it is absolutely locked in my hands. I love it. That little 4-inch. It is. I'm telling you, if you throw it up north, you better watch out because you're gonna get your freaking arm broke.
That's awesome. Yeah, I like that electric blue color too. Like those shocker colors are. They tend to.
Least favorite technique to fish.
That's a good question.
Oh man,
wacky rig.
Favorite. I think it's the most brutal thing to fish. But I've said this 100 times, if I'm ever in a tournament anymore where I'm like fishing the bank and I'm a co-angler and I just need to catch 5 keepers, I'm only going to take one rod with me, and that's going to be a wacky rig rod. But my least favorite or technique to fish is probably, man, I'm going to say it because I don't throw it that often, but I'm not a huge fan of throwing the A-rig. Just feel like that. I feel like it's window of time, window of opportunity to get bit more often than not is so small, and the style of rod and stuff that you got to have to throw those things. And if you're not throwing on the right rod, you're going to be real tarred at the end of the day. So mine is definitely the A-rig.
I have a love-hate relationship with mine. Mine has definitely caught me some big fish at times, but it really sucks to do it. It's Dragon Carolina rig. Like, I love it when it's working. When it's not working, it sucks. It's brutal.
See, I'm the opposite. That's if it when the winter or when the water temperature gets up to 70 plus, I lock that baby in my hand. Talking about like a 10 to 13-inch worm. Talking about like a Zoom old monster, or a Magnum worm. I just feel like, and one thing that has taught me throwing those big old worms like that is that fish that are half the size of those baits will eat them. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watched the show 3 weeks ago or maybe a month ago now. It was a month ago, but we were talking to the random or the man, the myth, the legend, Ronnie Moore from Bassmaster, and he mentioned something to me that I thought was an amazing comment. And like, I don't know if it was from him or if it was his stuff or if it was another pro that said it or whatever, but he said a bass doesn't have a mirror and they don't know how big they are. So if they feel like they can eat something, they'll take it on. And that's something that like really resonated with me because like I'd never really thought about it.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I couldn't tell you the amount of 12-inch fish that me and Dylan Preston caught this year. I won't say where, but that we caught this year on a mag draft was mind-blowing. Like, literal 10 and 12 inchers would come up and eat it head first.
Makes you want to get a glide bait, right?
They will eat a glide bait, yes.
Yep. So, which reminds me, guys, I got a YouTube video series coming up soon that I'm going to. Those of you guys that don't know, I'm a high school teacher at Cold Grove High School. This is my 17th year. I teach technology basically, but I have a CNC router in my classroom and a few things. And my goal is over the next few weeks here is to design a glide bait, cut it out with a CNC router, and catch a fish on it. So, we may have the next bull shad, or we may have a lot of bullshit.
Man, I've seen people catch fish on an iPhone before, so I think you can do it.
I was watching a guy. So when you get 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, they send you like this silver play button, and this guy made a muskie lure out of it and caught a muskie on it.
That's
Ooh, well, that's even cooler. Muskie's a little bit harder.
Not where I'm sure this dude was like in Canada, where they're like crappie up there.
That's a great.
That is a great one, and I will tell you that last week
I worked with Carrie, and I gave her a list.
Come see me. Come see me this week, and I'll help you out.
Tackle box.
Yeah, go up to the tackle box. 40% off up there. You're not going to find prices like that. I would like to suggest an NRX Plus. I mean,
it depends on how much you love your husband.
Carrie. That was brutal.
That was brutal.
Come see me this week, and we'll hook you up.
Yep, tackle box, 311 Solid Road, South Point, Ohio. Don't ask me how I know that, but I'm going to tell you one. It's 411. Sorry. If you get to 311 and you don't see the big sign or Drew Sadler's ugly face on the front of the building, you want to know? Oh, she said she bought everything on the list. JR.
That's going to be a happy hubby.
Let me tell you how much I've been at the tackle box over the last few years. When I get in my when I get in my truck, it tells me how long it's going to take me to get to the tackle box 100% of the time, whether I'm going there or not. It'll just pop up and say you're 9 minutes from the tackle box. Like, oh, thanks, Siri. I didn't really know that. Yeah, I did. I've been there every day for the last 5 years or 20 years. It's crazy. Deepest you've caught a bass. We're talking about that just a second ago. Deepest I ever caught a bass was a month and a half ago when we were fishing the Del Hollow the Team Trail Championship down there. 80 feet plus we were catching bass on a deep rig. Like
1 inch fish top water.
Blew my mind. I tell you one thing. It brings whole new meaning to learning your surroundings. One, catch your fish that deep, but two, I've never had to fizz a fish so quickly. Normally, you throw them in a live well, 5-10 minutes later, you go back there and they're belly up. Like these fish, when they came up, it was like either fizz them or they were going to die. Like there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like their air bladder would be in their mouth. Like it was nuts. So Bailey said, or Jared wants to know how deep Bailey's got them.
Mine's on the bottom, like 50, 55 around Trooper Island, but suspended over bait, like throwing a Demiki at suspended fish, probably over 80 feet. Yeah, 80, 90.
So these fish were like on the bottom, like within the bottom 1 foot of the water column. We were catching them in 80 foot of water. It blew my mind. Crazy.
It's crazy.
So here's another cool thing. I caught a walleye in with those bass. We caught 2 4-pound bass and I caught about a 8-pound walleye out of the same school.
Jeez.
Crazy. But anyway, guys, we're at that 55-minute mark. 1 hour makes it. If you guys are interested in getting your hands on anything that is fishing related and you want to get a good deal on it, go up and see Bailey this week at the Tackle Box. December 28th is the Tackle Box as we know its last day. Now what's going to happen after that? Again, we talked about it. They're going to be going to some of these trade shows and setting up, selling these things. You're going to be getting the same discount, I'd imagine, 40% off, unless you just went up to Greg and said, I wanted to buy the rest of the Tackle Box, which I wish somebody would do. So there's still a lot of stuff up there, but don't feel like that it's like bare bones. Don't feel like it's like a mid 80s Big Lots. You know what I mean? You walk in and find stuff like laying everywhere. It's not like that. They still got a lot of stock. Again, very few reels that are Shimano unless you're left-handed, and there's plenty of them up there. If you're a loose person, they have a bunch of those. Looks like they had some Garcia reels, catfishing stuff, an amazing amount of stuff. But go up there and check them out. Again, 28th is rolling around, man. It's the 12th of December now, so we're going to be
we're sitting at 12 shopping days left, counting tomorrow.
Yeah, so I'm going to miss it. I'm going to, it's one of those deals. Go check them out. If you're in the area of Ashland and you don't want to drive all the way over there to the Tackle Box, Borders in Summit, Kentucky has a decent amount of stuff. I would imagine they'll be picking up more stuff as soon as the Tackle Box closes because they're the only shop around here as far as I know. I think there's some up towards Wheelersburg or whatever, but if you're in my area, there's very few places. But with that being said,
so too.
What is it?
One of the only places you can get Picasso products too.
Right. Yeah. So that's good. So anyway, Bailey, I appreciate you coming on and dealing some knowledge for us this evening and bringing some of your people too. I appreciate it. And those of you guys that are out there, Mark Hickey's finally in the house. Favorite brand of fluoro, I will tell you, and my favorite brand is definitely Sunline. I like Sunline FC Sniper. Shimano just come out with some called Mastiff. Bailey, first off, Bailey, how did you like it?
It's not bad. It's different. I will say, I mean, I love Shimano. I'm a homer, but I'm still a Sunline guy.
Yeah, so I'm with you. I'm afraid to switch to the Mastiff because I like Sunline so well. If you're going to fish any fluoro and you want to start somewhere, I'm sure Bailey will echo this, but Sunline FC Sniper is a great place to start. It is not cheap. You're looking at $35 every time you put line on a reel, or at least 30.
I got to run.
Yeah, man, we're out. So again,
thank you.
Yeah. So guys, we're out of here too. So if you guys can, you know what the deal is, get out there and lean on them. We will see you next time on another line. See y'all.